Hello, everybody. What's going on? I don't know why I just did an English accent off the top there. I did not intend to do that. I apologize to anybody that offended. Here we are. It's Thursday night. So this is becoming a regular thing, kind of, on Thursdays. You guys know me. Never get tired of talking about soccer. Here's an opportunity to put something on YouTube, take some phone calls. We have Copa happening right now. I'm watching Venezuela beat Uruguay, shockingly enough, right now on the television live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is where I'll be on Saturday for USA Paraguay. All right, so here's the deal. Following the chat at YouTube is a little difficult for me. I'm going to try to do that. The phone line is there. 703-483-9409. It's here. You can see it right there. And then there's a Skype name too. Some of you have already Skype buddied me. Skype contacted, whatever. You're Skype friends with me, or with that account anyway. I've got some video, audio stuff from Mr. Klinsmann after the big victory over Costa Rica on Tuesday that I can play for you. Let's see. What else do we got? We can talk about the rest of the Copa America tournament so far, which has been fan-freaking-tastic. We can talk, I got little Jurgen here's with me. Little Jurgen's here. Hello. I'm little Jurgen Klinsmann. All right. That was verging on offensive on some level, I'm sure. All right. So I will try to keep track of the chat room. If anybody's there, you have to let me know you can see me, that everything's good in the chat room. Like you have to tell me that you can hear me. Hello, this is me talking into a microphone. That has to work. The camera has to work. Okay. Like if everything is slow, I need to get rid of stuff. I might have to get rid of my sound effects. I was going to run some sound effects tonight, but I think I'm going to have to get rid of those because there's just too much stuff going on otherwise. Frame rates and all that stuff. And my computer is not the newest. I need to upgrade my hardware in order to get to the situation where I can like stream at super high speeds or whatever. All right. So Bo is here. Robert is here. James is here. Thank you, all three of you people, for watching. I think, are you the three people? You're the three people watching. This shirt is not questionable. I like this shirt. What's wrong with this shirt? Yeah, I know. Hopefully I will improve the frame rate. Okay. The shirt's fine. Do not question the shirt. Game of Thrones recap. You don't want me to spoil Game of Thrones for anybody who hasn't watched it already. And come on, what did we get out of that last episode? I'm trying to remember. It was Jon and Sansa going into some little girl's room. I mean, not little girl's room, but like there was a little girl in charge of some place, and they had to like beg her for 62 men or something. That's what I remember. And I remember Arya getting stabbed. Dude, what happened with that? Did she like get away? I can't even remember. I know she was stabbed. All right. So, hopefully the frame rate improves. Like I said, I got some video, audio stuff from Mr. Klinsmann, from Air Klinsmann. How are we feeling, by the way, about the United States of America going into that game against Paraguay on Saturday? Because, again, I'm going to be there covering the game, but also there, I'm not going to be cheering in the press box or anything. That would get me immediately kicked out of the club. But I will be, inside silently screaming along with the U.S. men's national team because I can't help myself. That's what I do. That's the perspective I come at this thing from. I didn't sign up for this gig to stop being a fan. Some people will tell you that once you become a journalist, I'm just checking my messages here. Once you become a journalist, your fandom kind of fades away. I've heard Tim Kurkjian, I think, talk about this. I think Tim Kurkjian has talked about how he used to be a fan, or maybe it was Jason Stark, one of them. Used to be a fan, and then you cover the teams, and you go on the road, and you talk to them a lot, and you watch the games, and you stop rooting for teams, and you start rooting for stories. If I ever lose my fandom of the U.S. men's national team, I mean, I'm not going to quit the job, but I'd be very sad. I think I'm still rooting for them to win. I don't really blame anybody. I mean, Bo's a journalist. I find I get caught up in my work and not really care about the outcome. Okay, again, that's fair. I think that's understandable on some level, but for me, it's still there. All right. We have lots of things we can cover. Lots of Copa. Again, we're watching the finish of Uruguay and Venezuela. It's 1-0. I'm not wearing my glasses, so the clock is a little blurry. But I do know that Venezuela is up right now, and we're waiting on Mexico and Jamaica, clearly. Any chance at all, raise your hand if you believe Jamaica is capable of an upset tonight against Mexico. Anybody? No? Okay. All right. By the way, if any of you want to help spread the word about these things, the more live listeners, the better. And I don't say that because I'm like, whatever. It's not about spreading the word for any other reason than we need more people to listen to make it more interesting. Because if it's just me talking for an hour, it's not going to be nearly as much fun. So it would be good if, and this is the casual hangout kind of version of Jason Davis. So you're not getting radio guy Jason Davis quite as much. If you listen to the Sirius XM show, you know it's a different kind of thing. It's an entertainment product, right? It's a little bit more low, high strung. It's a little bit more, I don't know. If anybody's ever done radio, you put it on a bit. All right, 72nd minute, and Bo thinks Mexico is capable of self-destruction always. Can't wait to see Andre Blank in net. Well, wait, I do with Blake in net. He may be the man of the match. Andre Blake is probably going to have to make some big saves tonight if Jamaica's going to have a chance against Mexico. That's pretty clear. What do you think, Little Klinsman? I think it's very... Okay, sorry. That's, again, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm not sure why I keep doing that. All right. 703-483-9409. First call of the evening. Gets to talk to Little Klinsman and, I don't know, free bottle of water. I don't have anything to give away. I could give away some of this stuff here, but that would be probably wrong. It's all been given to me. Some of it's swag. I mean, obviously this LA Galaxy stuff. Let me get my weatherman stuff going on. This LA Galaxy stuff here, that's obviously PR swag. We have some good stuff here. The books. A couple of Bo's books are in here. Bo's books are right in there somewhere. Bo probably can pick them out from 30 yards on a screen. All right. You can tell which teams have me on their list by the stuff I have. You guys, because look, the Timbers, they did. I haven't got anything from them in a long time, but they did have me on their list. I got a Timbers jersey. That's the box there. You can see that I've got a little Nicky Raimondo bobblehead, and over here behind the words that you can't see is Kyle Beckerman bobblehead. In this general area, we have some Chicago Fire swag. But here's the thing: the Galaxy stuff, the Fire stuff, both things coming from the same guy running the show. He used to run the show, at least from the media relations perspective at the Fire, and now he's a guy running the show at the Galaxy. And yeah. Anyway, all right. So phone calls. Yeah, let's try. We can do a game. I may use this space also to kind of workshop stuff for the Sirius XM show, and that way you guys can get a taste of what I'm going to do over there for free. In addition to me refining it and doing it over there. Now I have to contractually I have to be careful. I can't give away stuff for free here that I'm going to be doing on Sirius XM. Like I can't do the same show. But this is again, this is a hangout where I don't have any structure here. I don't have a written down thing. I've got video stuff that I can play. That's just Jurgen Klinsmann talking about the win over Costa Rica. Some of you may not have seen it yet. What else is there I was going to do? Oh, so I may workshop some stuff. Like I may workshop. I don't know. I was thinking about doing a song thing over at Sirius XM, a football song of the day kind of thing. Here's I like these cultural touchstones, right? These things that indicate whether or not America is on its way as a my speed is really choppy. I'm trying to figure that out. Whether or not America is on its way as a soccer country. And one of those things that I think is interesting. Let me close this browser. Screw all the video with Klinsmann. We don't need all that. Klinsmann audio is not going to do it for us tonight. One of the things I think is a cultural touchstone. Nah, I'm spinning over there. Is songs about our soccer teams and heroes. Okay, so let's say, for example, as my computer struggles mightily here, well, my apologies for that. let's say, for example, that there was a song about Landon Donovan. Some band, some artist somewhere decided that there was, and maybe we don't do this generally speaking. I mean, how often do we name check our athletes? We're a sports obsessed country. We care about a billion different sports, and yet for whatever reason, we don't name check our athletes. We don't really do that thing where we put them, hold them up and celebrate them quite as much as maybe some other countries do. I mean, I'm thinking like, okay, well, here's my frame of reference, right? I'm not saying I'm an expert on the musical traditions of many other countries, but if you go to Argentina, you're going to find a lot of songs about Maradona. If you go to Brazil, you're going to find a bunch of songs about Pele. You go, to England, there's going to be something about, some hero, probably George Best, although he wasn't English, obviously. He was Northern Irish. But there are going to be these people who get named. The only thing I can think of is Joe DiMaggio, right? Red Hot Chili Peppers did a song called Magic Johnson. Thank you, Bo. That's a good one. I didn't know that. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to make the video go faster. Really, I don't know how to do that. I turned down everything I could, but apparently it's not gonna. Okay, let me see if I can. Do that. If I can change it anyway at all. Maybe no, that's not gonna work. That's gonna make me look terrible. Once that catches up, that's not going to work at all. All right. Anyway, if it doesn't catch up, you guys should at least be able to hear me, which I think is the important part here. I'm like I said, technology wise, I'm probably way behind in terms of what I need to make this work. So if there's like some sort of setting I could use, see, there it goes. Anyway, some setting I could use to fix this, I would totally do that, but I don't think I can do that on the fly. So I can't turn off. I don't know if I can turn off the video while I leave the audio. Let me see if I can do that. Maybe I can bring up. Not what I wanted to do, by the way. It's gonna switch to that. Maybe I can. You guys are getting me messing around with this stuff. Live direction. All right. Anyway, screw the video. Whatever. It's gonna work. All right. So, the reason I was talking about this music thing is because today I had reason to remember that a long time ago, at another gig, and you're gonna see all the flashing and stuff. At another gig that I had for soccer, I put together a playlist of songs about certain players. I went through, or about players in general. I went through and created a list called Songs About Foot. This is all on Spotify, by the way. If you want the actual playlists, I'm more than happy to send them to you. They're not overly interesting at this point. They're probably very incomplete now. Spotify's constantly adding stuff. But there's one called Songs About Footballers, which is 19 songs. There's one, Songs About Pele, which is 5 songs. And there's one, Songs About Diego Maradona, which is 10 songs. I don't think Songs About Footballer includes it might include the Maradona and Pele stuff, but it also includes a couple of other tracks. And there may be players I missed, of course. But we've got beyond, it's Pele, Maradona, and George Best. That's pretty much the list of guys who have their own songs. Let me see. I don't know how much trouble I'm going to get in for doing this, but here's a little bit. This one's about George Best.
George Best on the left side, got Jesus on the right.
Wow.
Who do you want to speak to tonight?
Not George Best? Okay, anyway, there's a little bit of a song called George Best. So, I don't know. Maybe one day we'll have a song about Landon Donovan. No, I mean, it's too late now, maybe. Like, is somebody going to go back now? Or maybe Christian Pulisic becomes the first. Except his name doesn't really, like, fit nicely with lyric. Like, you're not going to say, no, it's called Vinegar Brain, Bo. I don't know who Vinegar Brain is, but that's what it's called. Let's see. We've got another one. How about another George Best one? This one's called This one says explicit lyrics, so I don't know how bad that is. But let's see. Ben Bailey.
I hear trumpets, is this a dream state? Cause if I woke up, I'm hoping for a clean slate. Man, what happened last night? I don't even know, but I'm guessing it was fun though. Last I remember the sun, it was glistening. She was saying something, but I wasn't really listening. When did the night go off track? Got that FEAR as my memory comes back. Supposed to hit a birthday, but instead we sacked it off, and now there's people.
Okay, I don't know where the George Best part comes in, but it's apparently that song's called George Best. So let's see, I've got 2 songs about Zlatan. Ooh. I Love You, Zlatan.
I love you, ich liebe dich, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I love you, ich liebe dich, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I love you, ich liebe dich, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Wow. Okay, so I'm being careful here because I don't want any copyright claims on my videos. But I mean, somebody can put up their own ads and take my money. There's another one. Here's another Zlatan song. Zlatan seems to be the only modern player who gets his own songs. Like, I don't think if you do, I think there's one song about Messi, and it's by, it's like a dance song. It's got a lot of Ray Hudson in it. You guys might have heard that one before. I might play a little bit of that if you haven't heard that.
Top shot was started in the street. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Scored for 6 different teams in Champions League. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Self-made millionaire in the top league.
I love that one. It says scored for 6 teams in the Champions League. Zlatan Ibrahim, and that might even be pre PSG. So I don't know how many teams Zlatan has scored for in the Champions League now. It might be more than that. I don't know. I just love this stuff. I love these cultural things. You guys want a Maradona song? Here we go. That's still Zlatan. Here's Maradona. Okay, that's just the radio call. Oh, here we go.
Do you remember 86? A little man, he gave you kids. No one could never play like him. He was the man he was destined to win.
All right, so looks like the video is screwed. I don't know how that's affecting my audio, so I might reset everything here. If I stop streaming though, it'll do a whole new video. So I'm gonna try not to do that. Let me see if I can figure out some settings here. I'm gonna switch to just an audio feed. Hold on one second, and you might not hear me for a second, but I'll be right back. All right, hold on one second. All right, there we go. All right, you guys should be able to hear me. Now, with this setting here, let me make sure I can. This is a black screen, but let me see if I can mess with the video. Turn off any outputs to change the video settings. Okay, so that's gonna be hard while I'm doing this. Yeah, let me see what I can do here. All right, so we've got anyway, all right. If you guys can still hear me, then I'm just gonna go. Let me see if I can put up something. Let me see if I can put up something so that you guys can at least have something to look at while I'm on the air here. Let's see. I'll put up an image of some type. I do have the stuff I did for the final Best Soccer show. This is so low rent. Like I said, I'm just hanging out here. We're gonna get all this stuff sorted one day, and it'll be semi-professional on some level. But for the time being, it's just me killing time on a. Oh, look, here's a floating head of me. I don't think that one's. I want a little bit more stylized. Like, I don't think that's really what I want. Like, maybe, maybe I'll put Here, I'll put this up. There we go. All right. So that'll be the placeholder image because the video's just not going to go. All right. Anyway, so there's a little, and here's the thing about what I love about Maradona, and I'm keeping an eye on this game. Let me know if they score, if anybody scores. What I love about Maradona is that the guy not only inspired all this music in his home country. So there's a bunch of like songs out of Argentina in Spanish about Diego Maradona. There's also like an entire album, and I think it got taken off of Spotify because it's not in my list anymore. I'm pretty sure I had all these songs about Maradona, an entire album done by Italian artists. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate that. Entire album done by Italian artists while he was at Napoli. Then there's also a host of songs, angry sort of English punk rock songs, because they all hate him because of 86. That's what I love about that. That sums up Diego Maradona in a nutshell. That's why the man is a legend. He's huge because he's huge in the cultural sense because of, it sort of embodies how big he was. Obviously, you use your hand to beat England, and there's also the other goal. No, it's not like the other one of the greatest goals ever scored. It was. Look at Venezuela making some headway. I put my glasses on, by the way, so now I can hear. Let's see. I swear there was. Let me see if I can find a Messi song. I swear there was all those Napoli songs, and they must have taken them off of Spotify because they were here, and I don't think they're here anymore. Let's see if I can find that Lionel Messi. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Some of you have heard this Messi song, and I can't remember who it's by, but it's entirely it's basically just some clips. It's like a dance track with clips of Ray Hudson and some other, I think, Spanish language announcer talking over it. What's this? Oh, that didn't work. Okay, let me see what else we got here. Yeah, that's not going to work either. All right. So the phone number's up. The phone number's not there anymore. Let me see if I can add that to the mix here. We'll put this here. We'll make this smaller. There we go. Just me. All weird colors, standing in front of the Bean in Chicago. That's what that is. Then we'll add some images here. Let me see what I got. I got this. There we go. There's a phone number. So now you guys can see the phone number if you want to call in. All right. Now I know, John. Don't worry about it. This, like I said, this is very low rent. This is very amateur hour. This is basically like public access. This is like public access. So there you go. Oh my God. Did you guys see the video that somebody did of Giassi's Artist's first touch? Tell me somebody else saw that, because that is savage. That is savagery. And while I understand that it's humorous, okay, and I am not necessarily above closing minutes here, Uruguay making a push. Why I'm not necessarily above taking a shot at Giassi's Artist's first touch. By the way, my first touch, way worse than Giassi's Artist's. So is yours, don't lie. Why am I not above taking a shot at Giassi? Oh my God, how did you miss? How did you miss that? Woo! Edison Cavani just missing. While I am not above taking a shot at Giassi's Artist's first touch, I will say that it's kind of cold that his own fan base is going after him. And maybe that's the thing. Like, I can make fun of my family, but you can't make fun of my family. Maybe it's in that vein. Maybe that's how we feel about Giassi's Artist. But at the same time, sometimes I feel like no national team fan base outside of England, and they've had way more practice at it and way more disappointment. No fan base outside of England hates their team more than the United States men's national team fans. Just for whatever reason, U.S. national team fans we just can't just accept that sometimes our team's going to be flawed. We can't just watch them. We can't just, I'm not saying that it has to be rah, they're great everybody shut up and be nice to them. I'm not saying that. Again, Cavani just on the edge there. It just seems odd that people revel. It's like it's a defense mechanism. That's the thing, though. That's why I hate it so much. Is there's this? It becomes out as a defense mechanism. If I'm going to play dime store psychologist here, U.S. men's national team fans take shots at their own team because they're insecure about their own team. They take shots at their own team so that other people, when they make fun of them, when the English fans or the Mexico fans or whoever make fun of the U.S. men's national team, then we can say, yeah, we know we suck. Ha, ha, ha. Look, we already made that joke. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's odd. And there's the elitist streak too, right? The snobbery streak. It's I root for the national team until they start to stink. Now, oh, well, I never liked them. I never thought they were very good anyway. And this other thing, the disconnect between rooting for them and not, and then recognizing their flaws and then holding yourself up as a more educated soccer fan who then gets to say things like, guys, the United States isn't very good. We should just accept that. Like, really? Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful wisdom. Thank you for that thing I did not know. That the United States sometimes isn't very good. And again, relatively speaking to the best teams in the world, no. Yeah, like I need a bulletin. Do you need to hand out flyers to tell me that the United States men's national team is not as good as Argentina? Please fly that banner in the air over the beach on my vacation to let me know that the U.S. men's national team isn't as good as Argentina, because I was confused. I wasn't sure if they were as good as Argentina, but now you've informed me and I feel better. Now I know. Yeah. Anyway, 703-483-9409. It's a lot of me. 27 minutes of me with bad video. I'm going to work the video thing out. I need to invest in a new computer. I'm about to move. That thing is happening soon. And the space there is a little different. So we'll see how that goes. My backdrop might not be as sexy. I'll still make room for Bo's books, though, no matter what happens. Venezuela defending with desperation. Goalkeeper out, and we've got did he miss? He missed. Oh, he just missed. Oh, Otero was going to score the empty netter. And there's still 30 seconds left. And I wonder if Uruguay finds the equalizer in the next 30 seconds after he missed an open net. Wow, that was so close. That was brilliant. And Venezuela, blow the whistle. By the way, this is the first major upset of the tournament, right? This is definitely the first. This is the first one that we've had that's a major upset in the tournament. I don't think we've had another one. And there it is. I think Venezuela just won. They just won. And Ali Wagner called this. Everybody else, Fernando Fiore, Alexi Lalas, they all picked Uruguay. And Ali Wagner picked Venezuela to pull it off, and there they are. And now Uruguay's out. They are done. Mexico likely to win the group now? I mean, Venezuela is on 6 points, but Mexico beats Jamaica today. Then they go 3 points up, and they're probably gonna have a better goal difference. So Mexico would win the group in the end. Well, likely they still would have one more match left. Yeah. All right. Am I missing phone calls? I am missing phone calls. Let's go to the phones. Let's see who we got. 312. Who's this?
Jason, Ross from Chicago. How you doing?
What's going on, Ross? How you doing, man?
Man, I just watched Luis Suarez start crying. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Well, that's what. Here's the thing. All right, so I don't want people to cry. I'm not Well, Luis Suarez is a jackass, but I mean, it's not normally that I would wish somebody to cry, but that proves that this thing matters, right? It matters. It does. People are like, "Oh, it doesn't matter." They made a separate trophy, and nobody cares, and they just played one last year. These teams care. I'm convinced.
It mattered to him right then and there. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, just a quick story. Every time I talk about Uruguay, every time I mention them in this tournament, if I say something about Edison Cavani or Godin or whoever, every single time I mention an Uruguayan player, my girlfriend goes, "Is that the one who bites people?" And I go, "No, that's the other one. That's the other one who bites people."
It's a shame too because he's a really fun player to watch.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah,
But he's so crazy. He's so crazy.
So a couple just overarching thoughts on Copa America, because I went to the United States game in Chicago. I'm going tomorrow to Argentina versus Bolivia, I believe. But let's be honest, the headliner is Argentina in this one. And it's been really fun in Chicago, man. I know everyone's talking about attendance, and the upper bowl at Soldier Field was not filled in. It was like 39,000 out of 60. But still, it was a Tuesday night, 7 o'clock start.
Look,
it's not the easiest thing in the world. And to be honest, the promotion inside the city hasn't been crazy.
Well, okay, here's the thing. And I don't want to let the organizers off the hook. I'm not trying to do that. But let's put this thing in perspective just a little bit. You're talking about weeknight games in a lot of cases. Last weekend, okay, maybe you had some games that should have done better. They've obviously they put the ticket prices too high. We know that. We've made everybody's beefed about that already. But so it's weeknights, it's ticket prices, it's teams that people might not know about. It's Copa America, which is not the World Cup. I mean, I had hoped that more Americans would be on board with how big this thing is. Clearly, this is still a soccer insider kind of tournament, at least in this country, beyond the ardent fan bases of these individual South American and Central American countries and Mexico. So it's still a hard sell to the general soccer public. And really, 38,000 or 34,000 and then 28,000 for Brazil Haiti last night. Those are actually decent numbers. It's just that we put the organizers put them in these giant football stadiums so they look empty. So it's instead of 28,000 people showed up to a soccer match at $150 a ticket on a Wednesday night in Orlando, people are going, this attendance sucks, and it's destroying all other Copa America attendance records. I mean, basically, it's mauling, and it's not even meeting its expectation. It's just weird.
But the atmosphere for the inside the stadium, even though there was only 39,000, that's still a lot of people. But don't get me wrong, there could have been 60. And I do think there will be a lot more at the semifinal. I mean, that's in Chicago. It's the final four teams. There's going to be there's going to be two very good teams playing in that semifinal. Yeah. And I bet we get a good crowd for that game. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. I'm optimistic about, how it's being received here by the fans and just sort of the people that were on Michigan Avenue for the United States game. It was a great time, and so a little positivity. You know what I mean?
Right. Ross,
no negative Twitter reaction about a few empty seats. I know that's galling when you look at it on Twitter, but it's like think about it realistically. They did a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, and look, I mean, this is one of the things. Like, there's 320 million people here. Yeah, okay, there's a lot of people in the United States, and there's a lot of people with disposable income. I mean, we're constantly talking about the politics of the income disparity, and there's obviously, people are going through stuff, and not everybody can drop $200 to go out to a soccer match. But the fact that this many people I think is still a credit to the game here. And if it was any other country, 34,000 people show up to watch the national team outside of the truly massive soccer countries of the world. And obviously we always compare ourselves to the Mexican crowds, especially in this country. Oh, look, Mexico showed up for a friendly against, Guam at the University of Phoenix Stadium. There's 70,000 people there. That's not always true, by the way. They have actually had a couple of stinkers in recent times. But because Mexico does so well, it's obviously a black mark against the United States men's national team when they don't draw that much. And I don't know. I just think that we're a little too hard. Now, the friendly build up to this, those were really bad numbers, so who knows?
Yeah, well, I'm sort of on, the top of the wave right now, though, because, I get to, in my own city in Chicago, get to see Di Maria and Messi is supposed to play tomorrow. That's just crazy to me in a competitive match that if you watch Di Maria the other night against Chile, he cares. This is important to him. Yeah. And to watch him in person in a competitive match in my city, that's killer. I love it. So
There
I'm
you go.
psyched.
Ross, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Living it up in Chicago. Chicago. I just felt like if I had some sort of region-specific accent, because I don't think I have much of one. I don't know if it's luck or whatever. I mean, it certainly worked for my chosen profession, the profession I fell bass backwards into. But I've always felt if I had a region-specific accent, I'd want a Chicago accent, but then sometimes I hear people from Chicago talk, and I go, that's kind of not cool. I mean, I love people from Chicago. I love lots of things from Chicago. It's just sometimes it's, I don't know. This is going to get me in trouble. This is like Fernando Fiore on Fox today saying that Jamaica doesn't have much passion for the game. Now, I understand what Fernando was trying to do. I really do. I understand what he was trying to do. But I think he fumbled his way into something really dumb. There's the goal from Venezuela. Man, what a goal. I mean, first of all, what is Muslera doing? I mean, what are you doing? Where are you? And that's a great save to get back, but then, yeah, you're just not going to stop that. And Venezuela beats Uruguay on that goal. That one, that's the goal? That's the goal that beats them? Penalty shout for Cavani. Yeah, I don't think so. My friend. Anyway. All right. So we have Mexico-Jamaica coming up. I figured I'd hang out. I was going to do... I didn't really have a plan, guys. I mean, this is just for fun, me talking to you. A reminder again, I'll be in Philly for USA Paraguay. If you want to join me. I don't know. If you want to hit me up somehow on Twitter or whatever, certainly trying to get around and talk to some people, maybe do some Periscope stuff. I don't really have anything planned other than some work I have to do for ESPN in game. Once I'm done with that, should be relatively free. Maybe take some, I'll attend the press conference, take some audio, may write a second piece that I have not sold yet because that's the business and I just hadn't really thought about it through. But yeah, so I will be around in Philadelphia if you guys are in Philly. Call me up 703-483-9409. There's the I need to get a sponsor for it. Sometimes I feel like you're not doing real radio, and now this is not real radio. This isn't radio. This isn't anything. But when it comes to SiriusXM, sometimes I feel like I'm not doing real radio because I don't have a sponsor for the phone line. Like whenever you listen to terrestrial radio these days, it's always like here in DC. Sometimes I will listen to the sports station 106.7 The Fan. Not very rarely, but occasionally listen to the morning show, whatever. And it's always the Hadid carpet cleaning hotline. Guys, and look at this free advertising film. Call the Hadid carpet cleaning hotline and get in with your opinion on whatever the news of the day, whatever the sports story of the day is. By the way, it's never soccer, of course. It's always like Tiger Woods pulled out of the U.S. Open today. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. And I'm not that guy. Like, see, here's the thing. Okay, so I do radio about soccer as part of my living, and I know I am lucky to do that. I am blessed. Hashtag bless up. I'm blessed. I'm lucky to be able to do that for part of my living. And you can hear that, you can understand that, pick that apart. You know what that means. I don't think I would have that job, and there would not be a place for me if soccer was part of a general discussion on stations like 106.7 The Fan here in DC, or The Fan up in WFAN up in New York, or what's the Boston one? I know there's a second Boston sports talk station. I'm actually going to be on that on Saturday. I'm doing a hit on the Sports Hub on Saturday if you're in Boston. Anyway. So if those people did a regular discussion about soccer, rolled it in more often, there would be fewer people who needed the outlet of SiriusXM FC, which means I would probably not have a job, or at least my job would be different, or there may not have been an opportunity, or there may not even be a SiriusXM FC to speak of. I think maybe that's possible, right? So I think about it that way. So, but I'm all, so I don't, because I'm in that position, I'm not going to be the guy who like gets upset that they don't talk about soccer on the sports talk radio station. Because who cares? I mean, there are other options these days. But I still maintain that sports talk radio has a vibrancy and a place in the American sports thing that matters on some level. It's growing. The people who listen to it are aging very rapidly, and it does not necessarily represent everybody, and it tends to be very what's the word? Very chauvinistic and I don't know. Why aren't I on YouTube Gaming? What does that mean, Rodrigo? What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. Like, do I need to do something different? I don't know how that works. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So optimize for interaction or optimize for less pure buffering. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking some of the settings here because Rodrigo's got me all confused. Rodrigo, what do I need to do? I don't know. Anyway, speaking of YouTube Gaming. So I'm working out new project stuff, and one of the things I think I pitched this. I think I told you guys about this idea, but I'm just so enamored by it. Like I'm so excited to do it, or have somebody else do it on a platform that I'm starting. That I just keep wanting to talk about it, and it's the idea of, doing interviews with players and or figures from around the world of soccer while playing FIFA. Like, so we're playing FIFA against each other and we're sort of doing the Twitch live YouTube Gaming thing. And then we're obviously archiving that. So it's an interview, like we're talking to each other and I'm interviewing them while we're playing FIFA. Cause I think that would be pretty funny. Like to have to think of the questions while we're playing, goals, talking crap to each other, whatever. I think that would be pretty good. I think that's not a completely original idea. I just don't know that anybody's doing it for soccer right now. And don't steal it. And if I see it on Kick or something, I'm going to be really, really pissed off. And they're doing something different, right? They're not doing that at all. All right, maybe there's no money in it. That's why they're not doing it. And that's why it's a free idea. I seem like I'm giving away free ideas all the time these days. I mean, I have a lot of stuff in my head. Like all that music stuff I just did a little while ago. I want to do some sort of show, some sort of like formatted YouTube show with football songs, with soccer songs. Maybe a countdown. Maybe Casey Kasem style top 40 American hits. No, top 40 songs about footballers. Guys, number 1 on our list. You know him as, never mind, Manchester United legend. Anyway, predictions for Mexico, Jamaica. I'm going to say 2-0 to Mexico, which is what my kid decided to come home talking about today. Not decided. He came home talking about Mexico because they're learning about Mexico. So he came home and he said he had a sombrero. He called it that. He said it that way. A sombrero. He said, Daddy, I have a sombrero. I made one. He's actually better at rolling his R's than I am. Sombrero. And then he said, Daddy, we're learning we're learning about Mexico or Mexico. And I was like, oh, that's great, dude. That's really good. Now, don't root for their soccer team. Whatever you do, you don't root for their soccer team. It's a wonderful country with wonderful people and amazing culture and history, but you do not root for their soccer team. Whatever you do, you are a U.S. men's national team fan. Actually, I didn't do that because it probably wouldn't have. It would have gone in one ear and out the other, and it wouldn't have mattered. But I do wonder if one day I'm gonna look up and my kid's gonna say, "Daddy, I'm a Mexico fan." I'm gonna just lose it. I will, I'll shed a tear, a single tear, and then I'll move on. That's probably what'll happen. All right. We are winding down. I was hoping for a couple more calls. People are probably watching Copa America. Obviously, it's on right now. I wasn't competing with Copa last week, excuse me. So, and I do have some stuff to write tonight. So, how about this? And I'm going to blackmail you people. Okay, I'm going to do this right now. There's like 11 of you watching. I know Bo's already said he can't call in. So there's 10 of you watching. Thank you to all 10 of you. You are wonderful people. You are the hardcore 10. You're between the 10 of you and me, we make one soccer team. That is brilliant. There's some sort of metaphor there. Now we have to pick positions, which might be difficult. Not everybody can play striker, okay? Not everybody can be up top. We need left backs, okay? We need guys. We need a goalkeeper, okay? But I'm going to blackmail you right here. I'm going to do this right now. If I don't get a call, and I know there's a bit of a delay, if I don't get a call in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to shut it down. There's no way this is entertaining enough for me to keep going to the top of the hour. So if I get a call, I will keep going. If I don't get a call, we will shut it down. I don't think I've missed any. I think I've only had Ross from Chicago who's called in tonight. So, yeah. All right. So one more phone call in the next 3 minutes. I'm even going to run. I'm going to run a clock, and we'll just keep an eye on this because I have to run a clock for United States of Soccer. So I have a ready-made online clock here that's going to tell me exactly what time it is and how long until 3 minutes. I'll set the clock. And you're free to talk about whatever you want. I mean, obviously, this isn't national radio or anything, but we're just hanging out, having fun. All right, so it's 9:46 and 20 seconds right now. So 9:49 and 20 seconds. This thing is shut down. I'm done. I'm gonna play it out like it's music radio. I'm gonna talk up the record and then I'm gonna be gone. All right. In the meantime, over the next 3 minutes, we have the Mexico fans living it up in Pasadena, California. Mexico, obviously, the big winners so far in this tournament. And if you saw those comments from the president of the Uruguayan FA, none too happy with the way things have been set up for Mexico. Now it's like, I guess it's a matter of them getting the benefit of a good travel schedule as opposed to, say, Paraguay, who is bouncing across the country. They went from East Coast to West Coast and now back to East Coast for the game on Saturday. Uruguay got screwed on their travel. They're already out. They've lost two games and they're done. It's over. So yeah, this is. By the way, Rodrigo, I didn't know you were Peruvian, and I'm not I'm not trying to hate on you, okay? But there are a number of Peruvian American soccer journalists out there. I'm sure you know who they are. If you're Peruvian, I'm sure you know and can identify every American soccer journalist who is of Peruvian extraction. And my boys, I love them all. Okay, I love them all. But they were thirsty last night. Okay? They were super thirsty last night. Rodrigo, there was a great draw, but because Peru was up 2-0, some of those people on Twitter, they wanted it so bad. They wanted that win so bad. They could taste it. It was right there for them. And then obviously things turned a bit. obviously it didn't work out for the win. But they were thirsty. All right. I got about a minute left here until we wrap this up. Thank you very much to everybody who's done this. Okay. Tanner Walt says Uruguay is not mathematically out, just highly improbable. Okay, well, we need to see, obviously, what happens with this game, Mexico and Jamaica, in order to find out. I mean, I haven't done the math. I haven't done the math. Let me see if I got any good footballer songs to go out to. I like to do this. Just put Maradona into Spotify and see what we got here. Let's see. This one says Maradona. What's this one about? That doesn't sound very good. Okay, I don't know what that is. This one says Maradona by Andres Calamaro.
Gracias en nombre de Dalma y de Janina. Muchas gracias, Dios. Que es lo que más quiero en mi vida.
Okay, that's too much talking. Me versus Maradona versus Elvis. No. Oh, here's one. La Mano de Dios by Rodrigo. So let's play this out in honor of our friend Rodrigo here. And in honor of Diego Maradona. I don't know why. I'm wrapped up in Maradona today. It's one of, because Maradona was taking shots at Messi, right? Maradona saying Messi doesn't know how to lead. And I've already gone over my time here. But I'm talking up a record. Ladies and gentlemen.
En una villa nació, fue deseo de Dios crecer y sobrevivir a la humilde expresión, enfrentar la adversidad, con afán de ganarse a cada paso la vida.
There's a lot of build up here.
En un potrero forjó una zurda
anyway.
inmortal, con
Come on, let's get to the chorus. Like, it's all good, important information, but at some point you need to tell me this. You need to kick in the music. Like, this is. Come on. Let's go. Here it. Okay. Ready? No?
A su familia ayudar. Grande Diego.
All right, with that, I am out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, guys. Really, this is just for fun. Having a good time, talking about soccer and all that stuff. If you guys like what I do, obviously you know where to find me because you found me here at DavisJSN on the Twitter machine, at DavisJSN on the Instagrams, at DavisJSN on the Snapchats. I don't do Snapchat often for public consumption, but sometimes I do. Obviously, Periscope. I'll hopefully be doing some stuff out at the link on Saturday, maybe via Periscope, maybe via Facebook Live. You can find me on Facebook at Jason Davis Soccer, and I'm on Patreon in the same spot if you want to do that thing. I mean, whatever. It's all out there. It's trying to make the living out of all